Viewers, the tension has been escalating between Israel and Iran, with strikes still continuing from both the sides. Let's take you through all the latest updates of this hour. 15 Israeli jets have struck airfields in Iran. The Israeli Defense Forces have said many ballistic missile storage have been destroyed. Meanwhile, F-14, F-5 and AH-1 aircraft have been destroyed. Iran, on the other hand, says they will continue with the uranium enrichment activities. They will not be deterred. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump has said damage is far below the ground level. In fact, he's also gone on to give the MEGA message to Iran, hinting at a regime change in the country. Supreme Leader Khamenei's threat to Israel says, "We will not spare you," while his foreign minister is going to be meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss what they're calling common threats. The US has issued worldwide caution, a security alert for all its citizens and officials. In fact, the United Nations Nuclear Watch Body is going to be holding an emergency meeting as well. Let's also get you the big breaking news that's coming in at this point. The Israeli Air Force has attacked 6 Iranian regime airfields in western, eastern and central Iran in an effort to deepen air superiority. The strikes damaged runways, underground bunkers, a refueling plane, and F-14, F-5 and AH-1 aircraft belonging to the Iranian regime. Meanwhile, viewers, as we speak, sirens are blaring in Tel Aviv. My colleague Priyank is getting an update. He is getting us the ground situation from Israel. Priyank, what is happening there? Sirens blaring. Get us an update of what exactly is happening at Tel Aviv at the moment.
See, Israelis have stood on one location because of the kind of siren alert which was sounded just a short while back, Shreya. And I could hear 4 loud explosions from the nearby locations here in Tel Aviv, which means that these ballistic missiles have once again managed to, enter into the territory of the Israeli airfield, and they could have caused some sort of damage because 4 loud explosions were heard here in Tel Aviv, which clearly means that the situation is certainly difficult and more serious this time. Let me show you to our viewers because we are in the heart of the Tel Aviv, and as you can see, these vehicles are stationed. They are not moving because of the the air siren alert which has come up, and these high-rise buildings are certainly the prime target for the Iranian forces, because over the period of last few years, months, what we have seen after a barrage of missiles which has been fired towards the Israeli side, that ballistic missile has come up as the biggest threat, because the Israeli air defense system is certainly not somehow capable enough to deal with these kind of ballistic missile, although the small drones and small missiles could have been dealt, which were fired from the Hezbollah side. So reporting from Tel Aviv, what we can tell you to our viewers, that you can imagine a city which is certainly silent. No one is on the road, obviously because of the air siren alert. But I could personally hear 4 loud explosions. We are yet to verify the location where these explosions has happened, but since morning this was a second alert which came up. Early in the morning, IDF said that the missiles were intercepted, they were destroyed in the air itself, but right now it appears that they have actually hit the ground.
Keep coming back to you. Stay with me and stay safe. Let me also tell our viewers what has been happening amid the flare-up in the Iran-Israel conflict, with the direct involvement of United States, remember, in what they claim is obliterating Iran's nuclear sites. There's one question on everybody's mind, viewers: what next for Iran? Will there be a regime change? And where is Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei? Both Israel and the US have consistently stepped up the rhetoric against the Iranian leadership over the last few weeks, from saying he will not be killed for now to making an open assertion on a regime change. Remember, the attacks on Iran's supreme leader have only escalated in the past few weeks. Now, Khamenei has vowed that Iran will never surrender, and has also warned that Israel had made a grave mistake with its attack on Iran. In fact, Khamenei has consistently emphasized Iran's right to defend itself, but clearly diplomatic talks now go out of the window. Let's also tell you what the supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, had posted on social media platform X. Look at this. The punishment continues. The Zionist enemy has made a big mistake, committed a big crime. It must be punished. And this is the picture that it used. Israel as a skull. Look at this. This is the identification that this symbolizes Israel. And this clearly is the supreme leader's threat to what he calls the Zionist enemy. He also goes on to say it is being punished right now as Iran continues with its ballistic missile attack. Remember, this is what was posted from the handle on social media platform X that is widely believed to be the Iranian supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's social media handle. Now remember, Khamenei has reportedly hidden in a bunker since these strikes have happened, and therefore the question, where is he? The 86-year-old was shifted to underground bunkers after Israeli strikes, and a lot of speculation on where he might be right now continues. He has suspended all electronic communications, obviously doesn't want to be detected in any way. Khamenei now relies on instructions through a trusted aide is what is being informed, is what is being talked about. In fact, the supreme leader has named 3 successors as well amid his threat to life. Remember, this is not the first time that the supreme leader has named his successors. Yes, not officially, but there is a lot of speculation on who these 3 might be, including one could be his son as well. Now, reports suggest Khamenei has been guarded by the secret elite unit in Iran in that particular underground bunker where he's hiding. He's likely to avoid public appearances amid the threats against him. Of course, trying to stay underground, trying to stay hidden and not be detected by Israeli or American forces. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, is what has been happening. Remember, on 17th of June, this is what the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu had said. Khamenei is an existential threat to Israel, something that Israel and Prime Minister Netanyahu have reiterated time and again on various fora. He also said fight is against murderous Islamic regimes, something that Israel believes is a threat to its survival. Donald Trump, the US president, said on the same day, we know where the supreme leader is hiding. And that, ladies and gentlemen, reflects a lot whether America really knows or whether it's just a claim. We'll have to wait and watch. But for the moment, US asserting that they know where Khamenei is hiding in that particular underground bunker. Also saying he's an easy target, but is safe there. That's what the US president has said. Also going on to say, we're not going to take him out, at least for now. But that was on the 17th of June. Donald Trump has made several U-turns and, changing statements that have come in from him. And eventually, of course, you had the Israeli Defense Minister, Israel Katz, saying Khamenei can no longer be allowed to exist. So these are the kind of statements that have come out of Israel and America as far as threatening the supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is concerned. My colleague Srinjoy joins us on the broadcast at the moment. Srinjoy, these are statements that, of course, reflect the kind of threats that the supreme leader of Iran currently faces from America and Israel. But it also kind of reflects how Donald Trump has been able to, make these U-turns in this entire conflict. First, he said we're not after the supreme leader. Then he's saying that, he's a threat. Then he said we're not, aiming at regime change. Now he's asserting that why shouldn't Iran have a regime change and giving out that mega message. Clearly a lot of chaos as well within the Trump administration as far as Khamenei is concerned.
The US president has made many U-turns on many subjects. Think of tariffs. Think of his tariffs on China. How many U-turns is that? So even on Iran, he has made numerous statements which are different from each other. Yes, he has spoken about the Ayatollah. He has spoken about MEGA only very recently. Initially, he talked about regime change. Had not talked. Now he has. Now the point is, to do regime change, you will not just do a regime change by, quote-unquote, taking out the supreme leader. There is a whole government in place. And if you're going to do regime change, at least according to a lot of people, you have to have an internal rebellion within Iran, because Iran is a country of 90 million people. Israel has a population of 9 million. Plus, even if America gets involved, it basically means a ground operation. We have seen how difficult the Iraq ground operation was and what it led to. It led to an insurgency for years and years and years. And is this something that America wants to do at the moment? Also, there are going to be, if there is going to be a ground operation, the losses in soldiers will be huge, regardless of whatever equipment is used. So at this point, is this something America wants? Is this something the people of America want? So this is something that has to be kept in mind when there is talk about MEGA and so on.
Right,
so
Srinjoy.
Apart from that, you have seen what the United Nations has said.
Yeah. Srinjoy, I'll come back to you. Let me also go across to our colleague Priyank, who's at the center of this war zone, viewers. He's reporting from Tel Aviv, getting us the latest ground situation. Priyank, as far as the general ground sentiment is concerned, you know, a lot of speculation, a lot of talk about how Israel will move next, how Iran will retaliate to these attacks, and where the supreme leader might be. What is the general sense? What are you hearing from people? What is the sense that you're getting on ground as to what Israel thinks at the moment?
See, Shreya, the locals are very much aware about the fact that Iranians will retaliate. They are also aware that there will be missile attack. That's why within few minutes you can see the cars have started moving. Soon after the loud explosions were heard, the Israelis have gone back to their normal life. But the fact of the matter is that they know that Khamenei is in the last years of his life. Probably he can survive for 2, 3, 4 years. God knows about that. But looking at the kind of real threat which is being there on him from the Israeli side, it's quite clear that he only has few days left in his life. You can imagine about a leader who has ruled Iran like a country from 1979. So he is certainly thinking that I have had a legacy. If before I'm going, I have to show to the world that how powerful I was. That is the very biggest worry for the people across the region here, is that Khamenei might attempt to do something which can be very dangerous for the world. That's why the Iranians were attempting to make the nuclear bomb as soon as possible before he died. So that is certainly something which is worrying for them. But you can see the vehicles have started moving behind me. Certainly the rescue team member would have been there at the location. We are trying to ascertain that at which part of the country this blast has happened. But what I could sense is that this has happened towards the northern side. So probably Haifa was the target where these missiles have struck down. As I told you, we'll have to wait for a few more minutes to ascertain the real location where this blast has happened. But while talking about your first question, certainly people are aware that they could be targeted, but they're happy with the kind of effort which has been put in by the United States by destroying the nuclear weapon, which could have not only been threat to Israel, but also for this region in the Middle East.
All right, Priyank, thanks very much for joining us at the moment, as well as Srinjoy. I'll keep coming back to both of you for, the on-ground situation and, of course, getting a perspective on what this really means for not just US, Israel and Iran, but the rest of the world as the situation in West Asia develops. With that, viewers, it's time for a short break. News and updates continue on the other side.